Hey everybody, Mr. Amazing here. I kind of look like crap. I've been sick all week. Did some videos anyway, but I think I'm going to use this time. You can see the background of the Operation Dread Factor gameplay. Just to give my thoughts on I'm just going to do this video just on the operator and his gadget and what I think about it. Just from, an average South African gold, sometimes plat player who still loves Siege after 7 years. So yeah, let's get straight into the YouTube video. I'm sure you've watched it already, so um,
Operation Dread
I
Factor
might speak over
unleashes
it,
a new threat into
but
Rainbow
let's
Six
listen and I'll give a
Siege,
commentary
one that will
accordingly.
get inside your head like never before. The FNAT Dread Mine
FNAT.
releases a fear-inducing gas that has a deleterious effect on your vision and can lead to deadly consequences.
Look, I know there's going to be a lot of fun to be had with people stuck in that kind of state, and you have shotgun runners running around. So I think it's going to be a fun. That's going to be fun actually.
These mines are property of Fenrir, the new
Fenrir.
defending operator, and they're not the only vision-obscuring gadget
Guy looks
running
like somebody
Siege this
from
season.
another game.
The new observation blocker will be available to select defenders to help them conceal their activities from the attacker's drones, cams, and holograms. The map
Okay, let's just talk about that quickly. I know we're going to talk about the actual operator, and we'll get into that. But that observation blocker is a cool strategic to do to block lines of sight from any of the drones, especially in terms of decision making. You park your drone somewhere far away, you want to see something, and if the block is in the way, it's not going to help you at all. But for Twitch can just take it out. For Brava can probably just remove it. Um, so yeah, I think its effectiveness is going to be to where you place it and how you place it and for what purpose you place it. I don't think it's a massive game changer, but I think it's going to be an annoyance if anything, especially if you want to do something quick in terms of rush play and you can't actually see what's actually going on. So I think it's more deterrence and annoyance than anything else is coming into the game.
you're seeing, or not seeing, this all play out on is the new rework for
I'm looking
Consulate,
forward
which
to
brings new
Consulate.
floor plans and extensive
I'm
renovations.
looking.
Just
I'm looking forward to Consulate. It's not to say that I don't love Consulate the way it is now. It's just that it's the same map like from way back when. Nevertheless, I don't have any issues with the current map. Let me put it that way. The new revised version, I hope that it at least betters what we currently have. That's all I'm of it. If it makes things a bit worse, then shit. I'll do a separate video in terms of when you do the Consulate walkthrough and give my sort of opinion on the map there. We'll just focus here in terms of Fenrir.
waiting for you to add some DIY flair. New lanes in the shooting range
I'm
offer
looking
more
forward for the
ways to
testing,
hone your aim.
especially for my new guys. I do have some friends that play that aren't native FPS players, and neither was I for a certain time. But this is so great for those guys to get used to training their muscles, their shooting muscles to get better, and especially warming up before a match. And I can tell you now, one of our buddies that generally has a low KD when he does not warm up. When he does warm up, let's say in a T hunt or in one of these practice rounds, he actually pops off. All you guys who are sitting in silver and bronze and copper, do this. It's going to increase your gameplay or your effectiveness in your gameplay.
A new
I probably
permanent
will. I probably will do a video on the new season with the new training thing. I think that will help.
arcade playlist gives you more ways to put that aim to
I'm
good
not kidding.
use,
I don't care about the
and a
arcade playlist.
significant buff for Grim
Maybe for
rounds out
buddies,
the
but no.
major updates coming to Rainbow Six Siege in
And
Operation Dread Factor.
Grim is just Grim.
Now let's talk Fenrir and those FNAT Dread.
I mean, I say Grim is just Grim now. I've seen the changes that's coming that's going to make it better. And apparently, this is just one phase of his rework, so maybe they're going to make him even better. If they ever get into the stage like where his bugs do what original Lion did with the outline of your defenders or anybody running through it, I'm excited for it, but I also think then that makes him a bit OP. In which case, they need to revert the current changes now of how fast he's going to be able to deploy stuff. But or if they allow that just for him and not the full team, then it's fine, I suppose. Anyway, let's get into Finland.
Mines. What is the deal with those? Well, they look creepy and they make everything creepy as hell when you're affected by them. But if
Hmm.
you want to get technical, here's the deal. Fenrir has 5 of these sticky mines, and he can deploy
Yeah.
them Wamai style just
Mm.
about anywhere.
Whammy
Now,
style.
take notes on this next part because it'll be on the test. Fenrir's mines have 3 states:
Yeah.
deactivated,
Yeah.
activated,
Yeah.
and triggered.
Yeah.
When he
Okay.
deploys them, they are deactivated. In
Okay.
this state, they are bulletproof. You'll need an explosion or EMP to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
If an attacker walks into a deactivated mine's radius, the
Mm-hmm.
mine does nothing.
I wonder if it
When
opens
the
up.
mines are activated, they are now vulnerable to damage, but
That one
also
looked like.
ready for action. If an
That,
attacker
that's like, for instance, like when you EMP Maestro's can, his shutters open up so you can shoot it. I'm guessing it's probably the same thing with Fenrir's FNATs.
walks into their radius, the mine will trigger. When the mines are triggered, they
Yeah,
spew
and you
out
can
a
probably shoot them
fear
out anyway.
inducing gas that causes this to happen to anyone in their radius of effect. Anyone except Fenrir. The effect tints your vision and drastically reduces how
Only
far
vision.
you can see. It doesn't damage you, but it
Yeah.
is not very safe. Triggered mines will
Yeah.
continue to spew gas as
So it's
long as an
unlimited, eh?
attacker is in
So it's
their
not just time.
radius.
So it's not like just for a few seconds. When you're in it, you'll continue to have this field of vision debuff, and there's nothing you can do about it until you either destroy it or get out of the radius.
Once the attacker leaves, the effect wears off quickly, and the mine goes back to being merely activated.
Activated. Yeah.
So, how does a mine get activated or
Mm-hmm.
deactivated? Great
Mm-hmm.
question. The test will cover this as well. Fenrir has 5 mines, but only 3
Five.
activation codes, meaning he can only have up to 3 of his mines activated at any given time.
Okay.
He can send activation codes remotely by looking at the icon of a deployed
Okay.
mine and interacting.
So you can see, you can actually see the mines through the walls, or at least the icon of them, and he is able to activate and deactivate, and then take those codes away from and be able to move. Well, maneuver this thing. What's nice is that you actually have a representation on the left hand side here in terms of where those mines are, in terms of the room names as per siege, um, which is cool, and I do like that. And in terms of what you use it for, you know, really it's about those long lines of sights, in which case most of the time attackers have the advantage because they have the longer scopes. So in terms of bigger maps where, or map sight lines where that sight line is important, the placement of the FNAT, how it's utilized with the Fenrir is going to be crucial in terms of how effectively that attacking guys can push in a sense. I do like this operator. I think that he's just going to be very situational and needs, in my opinion, needs good collaboration with your teammates in terms of how you get the best value out of
This
it. Hmm.
activates the mine, so it will trigger and start gassing off if an attacker comes near.
Yeah.
He can also retrieve activation
Yeah.
codes remotely in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
This deactivates the mine, making it
Mm-hmm.
bulletproof again, and
Yeah.
returns the activation code to Fenrir's inventory so he can use it again.
Okay.
Congratulations, you've completed your introductory course on Fenrir. There will be no test. You all get A's. Teacher Chris is very proud.
Okay, maybe I'll just stop it there. Just in terms that small little bit of I mean, we never went into his loadout, and to be honest, I don't care about his loadout. Probably change when it comes to life, or it's not as important as his gadget. So when you think about your maps where you have either, well, let me put it this way: he's going to be able to help in dealing with long sight lines in terms of giving defenders advantage. I think he's going to have a very big impact in terms if it's used well. If he's used well, it's going to have a very big impact in terms of whether they can gain access to site, whether they can you can deny a plant, or whether you can actually reclaim a plant. And the reclaims, I mean, you've lost. And this is where Finn is kind of like smoke in the sense that later on in the run it becomes more powerful if you're still alive. Because if you need to get back into plant or get access to plant, you could have Fenrir's inside your site and then limit the view and allows you as a defender to get closer without having to deal with the longer sites. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great tactical inclusion into the game. As to how effective he's going to be, I think that over time of using him more and more, like for instance Solus, like Thorn, you'll start seeing the value a bit better. Um, but obviously you only get to choose five, so his selection comes at a cost of something else. And in that respect, you really need to have a synergy with your team in terms of okay, if we're going to use Fenrir, what we're going to give up and how we're going to play this. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's a good inclusion. And what I like about Siege right now, at least Ubisoft, is that when they bring in these operators, and you saw it with Brava, they're coming in kind of fairly balanced, and it's not too crazy like the Lion and the Blackbeard days of old. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If you liked the commentary, if you have anything you want to maybe say or add in terms of your thoughts on Fender, please go ahead and add in the comments as well. If you like the video, subscribe please. It helps the algorithm. I will do a separate video on all the other changes, and I'll do another separate video on the map reworks in terms of Consulate, and just give my answers there. Arcade playlist, not really worried about that, except I'll probably, if it's in the arcade playlist, is in the game, I'm hoping that at least forms part of the custom game. So if me and my other buddies want to have a little powwow in a custom game mode, we can do it via that means as well. Otherwise, thanks very much. Thanks for listening. Enjoy it, and yeah, I look forward to providing other content with you soon. Keep well, guys, and we must stop recording here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, day, wherever you're watching this. Cheers.